time. Welcome to Between the Covers. We're the show for readers and writers and lovers of books. I'm Stephanie Larkin. I'm the head penguin at Red Penguin Books, a book publishing company for books of all genres and types. So whether you have a manuscript kind of shoved in a drawer for the past decade, or maybe just some thoughts rolling around in your head, studies say that 90% of all people want to write a book as a life goal. So if you would like to unleash your inner author, please visit Red Penguin Books. Well, we have some authors here who have unleashed already. With or without the help of the penguin, you have already been unleashed. So please welcome Joe Satriano, Linda Springer, and Thomas Duffy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, you're really dressed for the occasion today.
Yeah, I got the text message.
They
didn't.
They didn't get the message,
No.
and obviously I didn't get the text message either. I mean, I wore my cowboy boots, but
Very nice.
But really,
I'll be borrowing those later.
Really? Do you think it goes with the outfit?
Not really, but you never know. It's the 2000s.
I mean, we could watch the show over and over and over, but it's not quite Halloween. So what is with the outfit?
Yeah, well, first of all, I thought everyone has one of these. So, no.
Next time, well, you're right. We have to do the Fab Four next time.
Of course.
That's the goal.
Well, that's part of what this is all about.
Okay.
Yeah, I am running a Beatle concert. Strawberry Fields, the best Beatle knockoff group you've ever heard or seen on this planet. They were the original cast members of Beatlemania on Broadway. They also had a 17-year gig at B.B. King's in the city.
Wow.
They have friended me. They make me feel like the fifth Strawberry.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're doing a benefit concert for my foundation, the Susan Satriano Foundation, where I give out scholarships to high school seniors who will go into college in the fall. The kicker to be eligible, unfortunately, they have to have a parent who's either passed away of cancer, presently battling, or in remission. You're looking at the foundation. I've done it for 14 years after my wife Susan passed away of a 13-year battle with breast cancer. And I'm so proud to say that I just reached $1 million in scholarships. Thank you. To over 1,700 kids across the nation. But I can't do it alone. That's why I run concerts, and that's why I wrote a book where 100% of those proceeds go right to the scholarships.
Yep. So Joe was on our show before with his book In Sickness and in Health, which is about the battle with breast cancer, and all the proceeds have gone to the foundation, which passed $1 million. Oh my God!
I know. I'm amazed.
That's just blowing me away. So when I got an email from Joe saying, "Do you mind if I come on? Do I mind?" As if I ever mind plugging an unbelievable cause, $1 million in scholarships to kids, and then he emailed with the kicker. Okay. Do you mind if I wear the Sgt. Pepper costume? How quickly did I? Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
I didn't even get the email out to you.
You just heard me scream.
Right.
You
Right.
just heard it. Do you mind standing up so we can do a little?
Sure.
We
Would
want
like
we
me
want to get the full effect here.
Here we go.
Look at this. Whoa, don't spill anything on it. It has to get back to Party City later. No.
Who told you? Yes.
You look fabulous.
Well, I'm a Fab Four. Thank you.
You are fabulous. So the concert is on October 26th. I know that we have the flyer on our website. Just remind our viewers where they can go to get tickets.
Sure. Well, they can call me. I'm lonely. It's 516-603-5520. They could also go on the website, which is www.susansatrianofoundation.com. If you're in the Oceanside area, the Department of Community Activities is selling them. That's DACA. Just call me, and
Absolutely.
I will supply you with. I'll even deliver them in my Sgt. Pepper outfit.
Would you really? Be careful. If you start promising that on the air, people are going to take you up on
I've done it
that.
already.
People are totally taking you up on that.
Go for it.
And if you forgot everything that you just heard, BetweenTheCoversTV.com always has links to all of our authors, especially our favorite authors.
Thank you.
And their causes. So please head over to BetweenTheCoversTV.com. Well, while we're here, I know Joe has a Between the Covers book club card, but I'm giving you another one.
Thank you.
And Linda and
thank you,
Thomas,
my dear.
you too can join the Between the Covers book club. It isn't on the online book club as well as on the air. Sign up at betweenthecoverstv.com. You'll get free books. You'll get all sorts of information about upcoming events. Of course, Sgt. Pepper information and everything else that goes with it. So please sign up. And if you're available on a Wednesday night, I mean, we always want authors to sit on the couch. And if you're not here in New York, we Skype in our authors. But if you want to be audience, come on in. We've got wine. I mean, really, what could be bad? We have wine. But let me ask you three, before we get to your own books. And I see somebody came prepared because he knew I was going to ask, what are you reading? Tom, you want to tell us about this?
That's The Chain. Very, very exciting book. Edgy as seat suspense.
Really?
Keeps you going right. It's about a cancer survivor, a woman who his daughter is kidnapped. And when the daughter is kidnapped, they want not only ransom, but they want them to kidnap another kid, to switch the kid out for their other kid, to get that kid back, in addition to ransom. Everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Murphy's Law, full effect in that book.
Oh my
it's
God.
Edgy seat suspense, nail-biting suspense straight through. And I really enjoyed it. I can see it becoming a picture.
It sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
It
I can
sounds
definitely
like
see
a
it.
movie,
And I
absolutely.
usually have a sixth sense about seeing something that will become a movie, and that one definitely stood out to me.
Okay. We'll keep our eyes open for it. You two, anything you're in the middle of reading, or you're too busy writing?
Well, I haven't started yet, but a friend of mine gave me Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh, I just read that for a book club.
And it was recommended highly,
Yes.
and so that'll
Okay,
be
yes,
up
that
next.
that one's getting passed around my office right now
Yeah,
too, because I
yeah.
just read it for a book club.
Fabulous, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic, and yeah, well, you're too busy being a beetle. I see that. If you have some books that you've finished reading and they need some extra love and another home, please consider donating them to thebookfairies.org. We love the Book Fairies. The Book Fairies not only collect at least 50,000 books a month here on Long Island and distribute them to school districts in need, adults who are not able to afford books, 50 different libraries overseas in Africa, but they just passed their 2 millionth book donation. They had a big event over the weekend with their 2 millionth book donation. So thebookfairies.org, or again, you can go to betweenthecoverstv.com or drop off your books here. If you drop off your books, I'm going to throw them in my trunk. I'll bring them myself. You get a glass of wine. So we're going to hear from sponsors, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much.
Are you interested in writing, but you're unsure how to get started? Or perhaps you're already an author, but want to hone your skills and receive supportive yet constructive feedback? Welcome to WebWritersRetreat.com. Developed to help once and future authors like you to gain from positive and supportive criticism of your submissions from other writers and our professional staff, push forward through personal timetables and writing exercise sessions. Sharpen your skills through group coaching and Q&A sessions with literary experts. Receive practical resources such as templates, downloads, links, online courses, and free ebooks. Benefit from book reviews and opportunities to join a beta team to enrich yourself as well as other authors. Save with special discounts for publishing services and online courses, social media, and email marketing, and a whole lot more. Visit WebWritersRetreat.com and turn your writing dreams into reality.
Writing a book is the adventure of a lifetime. Red Penguin Books take pride in giving our authors a publishing experience that is stress-free and celebratory all the way. Some of our authors first approach us with no more than an idea for a book that's ready to sprout. Others submit completed manuscripts. Whether you're at either end or anywhere in between, our goal is to get you published. At Red Penguin Books, we offer options and opportunities that are unique in the world of publishing, and all of them are designed to keep you, the author we so deeply respect, in the driver's seat, unlike other publishing houses. So, if you want to write a book and are looking for a publisher, we've got you covered. Red Penguin Books deal in publishing services, book development, and ghostwriting for digital, print, and audiobook. Call us at 516-448-4993 or visit our website www.redpenguinbooks.com.
Do you have a book, either in your head or on your desk, just waiting to get out to anxious readers? Hi, I'm Stephanie Larkin, author, book developer, and head penguin at Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company specializing in books of all genres and publishing in all formats, including digital, audible, and print books. From business books to romance, memoirs to mysteries, our authors have complete control over their books from start to print. We'll help get your book to booksellers all around. Major booksellers such as Amazon, Apple, Kobo, Walmart, even libraries and bookstores around the world. We believe in our authors. So call or email today to get your free publisher's packet to get started. Just visit us at redpenguinbooks.com and get your book out there and into the hands of your readers. At Red Penguin Books, you call all the shots. So call us today and turn your dreams into a reality. Welcome back to Between the Covers. Well, we are not just littered with authors tonight. We are graced with a brand new author. So we have a book debut and celebration and book launch party and a couple of surprises for Linda Springer, the author of There's Always Hope, her story of multiple chemical and electromagnetic sensitivities. I am so proud of you for writing this.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay, so I brought champagne.
Yeah.
And I think we have some other little treats here while I try to get the champagne open.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'll trade you if you can get the champagne open.
Oh my
Check
God,
it
that
out.
is so awesome.
Check it out. It's the bookcase.
That is awesome.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay.
Oh my God, did you
Isn't
get a
that
picture of
gorgeous?
this?
Okay, we need pictures. Everyone take a picture.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my
Before we
God.
start cutting.
Yeah, I know. I
Yes,
don't
we
want you to.
absolutely have to take a picture. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take a picture before you
Yes,
start cutting.
thank you.
Can you hold it
Yeah.
without dropping it?
I hope.
Oh God, I just got frosting all over
But
me.
there's always hope, right?
There is always hope. Okay, but I'm
So
going to take
not
one of
only
just
can
the-
you sink your teeth into Linda's book, you can also sink your teeth into the cake.
Okay. Now hold it closer to. There we go, so I can get you
Oh, wow,
and
that's
the
amazing.
cake. And there we go. And yes, you
got
made a
it.
mess.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Did you get inaugurated?
All right. It's a party. It's a party. Okay, let me get all the frosting off of me. I'll start cutting, and you could tell us about this book, because I love this book, and I love what you're doing with this book. Oh my God.
Thank you very much. Well, the book is 9 years ago. My son came home from college.
We
He
need a
was
toast
finished.
to the new author here.
And he came home and he got sick. He deteriorated rapidly. We went to regular doctors, and doctors did not know what was going on. They wished us luck, and so the book is about our journey to find out what was wrong with him, get him healed, which is what we did. Now physically he got healed, which is the first part of the book. The second part of the book is that now he's physically healed, but emotionally and spiritually he's not in good
He
shape.
went down to like 84 pounds.
Right, and he was
I
six
mean, God.
6'3", and we thought we were going to lose him. It was that serious, but
And how old was he?
23 when he came, so it was 9 years ago.
Wow.
And
Scary.
yeah, it was scary. And the good thing is that after he was physically healed, then he went on a spiritual, and he went on a emotional journey, and he asked me to join.
Isn't that wonderful?
So it was
when
just
adult children want to be
wonderful.
with us. Oh, it's great when a 2-year-old wants to be with us, heck. But,
Yeah,
but
yes.
adult children, fabulous.
And just the fact that I learned from the experience. We all did. My husband learned from the experience.
Wow.
And
Now, what's going on with him now? He's
well, he's healed. He's happy, healthy. He's a life coach. He lives in Houston, and he travels all over the world.
Wow.
So he had to go through this. Yeah, absolutely. So he had to go through this hell to get where he is today, and so happy about all of that.
Oh
for
my God,
him.
it's just outrageous. Now, what blew me away about the book, you came to me to write the book,
Yes.
and I never heard of
Oh,
EMS, EMF,
MCS,
MSF. I didn't know what she was talking about. In fact, the first time Linda came to me and told me this story about how her son, it sounded to me like he was allergic to everything. He woke up one day and was allergic to everything, including electricity. And I kind of sat there like,
Right.
are you sure? Are you
Yeah.
sure this happened? And she started telling me, and it just sounded so incredulous. But even more incredible is I was so fortunate and proud to work with Linda on this. And of course, I started telling people, wow, I'm working with this woman who's got this son. And people would say, oh yeah, I have a cousin who had people had
Right, or someone themselves would have
Yes.
it, and it would be like, oh my gosh, and Stephanie would look at me like,
never heard of it before. And now that I would bring it up in conversation, everybody knew somebody. And sometimes it was them. I had that. And I said, are you kidding me? I thought she made it up.
But that's why one of the main reasons why I wanted to write the
Well,
story.
I'm so relieved you wrote this story because
Because
if I
people
got to
have
be this
to
age
know.
and I didn't know.
Yeah, people have to know because there's a lot of Facebook groups where you can go and see these people who are dealing with this, and a lot of them have to deal with people not believing them or thinking it's phony, but they all have the same symptoms. It's the same sort of thing, and it's all about the toxicity in our environment. Another big component of it is the fact that it's mold exposure. And that's what happened to him. He had a combination of mold exposure coupled with the fact he had a very bad reaction to the antibiotic Levaquin. So between the two of them, what ended up happening was that it shut down his liver. So here you are, it's shut down, and so all the toxins weren't getting out of his body, they were just staying in, and he had these crazy symptoms. But thank God he got through that, and
I remember one of the first stories you told me, and it's of course in the book, was that he couldn't even read because to touch a book and to touch the ink would cause a reaction. But he was, lonely and bored, and Linda would put, there was glass, I remember it.
I used a Pyrex roasting pan.
He was under a Pyrex roasting pan, and then to turn the page with like a chopstick or something. Wow. I said, what is this?
But that's what happened. It wasn't until later when we found a doctor in Manhattan that could help him that we learned that we could get acid-free paper. It was the acid in the paper. Most paper has some sort of acid in it that would cause him to have a very bad reaction. So that's what we were dealing with.
Unbelievable. And the other story that really got me, which is of course also in the book, is about you turning the power off to your house.
It was extreme.
That at night they would literally go down to the basement and flip the circuit so the power was off so that he could rest at least through the night. Can you imagine? It's like camping.
Well, it was like camping. First of all, we turned the refrigerator off, period, at one point because that bothered him a lot. And then he wasn't finding peace, so eventually we ended up at night turning off the electricity in the house. And I truly believe that doing that helped accelerate his recovery because he could then rest. Otherwise, it was horrible for him, and he couldn't sleep. He had trouble eating. So by doing that, they couldn't tell us how long it would be before he could be healed. Some people, 2 to 3 years, they're still going through it. And we were blessed that at least it was only 11 months. And that and knock on wood, it hasn't returned at all.
I think a toast.
Absolutely.
Oh.
A toast to our newest author. A toast to authors everywhere who get our stories into print.
Thank you.
And to hope, because there's always hope.
There's always hope.
We'll take a break. We're going to eat some cake. We'll be right back.
Woo!
The British smash The Full Monty is coming to the Argyle Theatre. Visit the box office at argyletheatre.com or call us 844-631-5483. The Full Monty? Drop everything.
Welcome back to
Okay,
Between the Covers. Cake, anyone? We were just celebrating and eating and talking about how important it is to write a book like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought is the whole process is I can't wait for the book to be finished because nobody knows about this. And the people who have it must feel so alone.
Well, they do. I still read things from some of the sites, and they talk about one of them in particular really affected me. She spoke about, she had it for a couple of years. She hadn't told anybody and finally decided to tell her best friend because she thought she could handle it, and she rejected her.
Wow.
How do you reject your best friend?
Right. Well, obviously she's not her best friend.
Well, obviously, but still, I mean, like,
oh my God,
How do you reject somebody when they reveal, first of all, something that is so painful and so horrible and so debilitating?
Yeah.
I don't
without a
understand
doubt.
people.
But there is hope.
There is
and
hope.
I truly believe that will make a difference
Well,
for the.
certainly, a lot of the hope, I think, comes with education.
Yeah.
Education of people so that they're not terrible like this ex-best friend. Education of doctors.
Yeah.
You were talking in the book about how doctors had no idea, and thankfully, one of the doctors, I remember you and I had to talk about one doctor, and you kind of...
I told this story
yes,
the
you
other
kind of
day.
saw him as like, ugh.
I was so angry at all of them.
Yes, and I understand your anger. And I actually read into it and said, he was the first one who, he didn't help you, but he said, this is an environmental issue.
Yeah, he gave me a clue.
It was your first clue.
Yeah.
He wasn't the answer, but before that, you didn't even have a clue.
No.
And who even knew there was an environmental doctor? I mean, I didn't even never even heard of it. So a book like yours is such a help to the medical profession, people who are suffering and feel alone, people who know someone, and they might be thinking in their head, they're making it up.
Right.
And now they say, no, they're not making it up. This is serious. But you know where also to help? They're talking all about 5G now on Long Island and
Yes,
whether it's going to
that's-
be detrimental. You know, there's a lot of things out there. We have no idea. We
Yeah, we're-
really have no idea.
We're
You
human guinea
mentioned-
pigs.
You mentioned antibiotics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my son.
One of my sons was on antibiotics 10 times in 1 year. I hated that.
Wow.
I mean, thankfully, he's here, but his immune system is shot to heck over it.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
gosh.
just awful. And, you know, we have no idea what things they're giving us that are helpful, but are also hurtful. And it's not going to be for 25 years, 50 years until we really find out what these things are like.
Really?
So it's a huge service. And talking about it is a
Yeah.
huge service.
Chemo is a classic example
Yes,
of
well,
that.
you know that.
Absolutely.
You know that.
Yes.
And what you went through
Yes.
in this journey, and that's another one. You know, this was a personal, in a sense, a personal book, not really written as a, I'll call it a public service announcement, but what a gift to people to read it, people who are with a spouse and feel like I'm not alone, people who are walking that journey, people whose best friend are walking that journey. You know, to read about it, and like you said, to read about chemo and what really goes on.
Sure.
It helps people. And if one person, well, I mean, thankfully, your book made $1 million for your cause, and you know, you and all the other things. But I always say to people I'm working with, if one person picks up that book and it changes their life, and I have no doubt that even aside from the scholarship money, which is outrageous, you know that, I know that at least, and that's saying it mildly, one person picked this book up and didn't feel alone, felt like I have someone. And at least, and I could say more than one because I know there are Facebook groups of thousands of people, but picked this up and they feel as if, wow, is that what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Or,
I hope
oh my
so,
God,
that
you
they-
know,
yeah.
I didn't know where to go with this. And you have a whole resource section in the back where you can get certain things. Like distilled water is not always pure. You know, there were things that you were writing about that I had no idea
I know.
that certain things had chemicals in them.
We found out the hard way, you know. That's what it was. It
It's
was all-
just horrible. But there is always hope. And he's walking the walk now.
so beautiful.
Now I know you have lots of speaking engagements lined up. Are they
Oh my
all health related? Are they, you know, personal related? I saw you at a health fair over the weekend
Yes.
speaking, which was fabulous.
I have one that's, a lot of them are author based. Like the one on the 24th in East Setauket is called, it's called Books, Cooks, and Corks. And right, and it sounds like so much fun. A fellow author of mine recommended it. She's going to be there, so I'm going to do that. And then that's one big one. And then on October 25th, Syosset Public Library invited me to be a part of their Long Island Author Showcase.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm going
Boy.
to be doing that, and I have different publicity and promotion things between radio shows and everything else, really till like December 7th right now, and I just
Boy,
keep
oh boy.
yeah,
That's unbelievable.
because if now it's done, right?
Right.
Now I have to get it out there. If
Right.
I don't get it out there, it's
Right,
like
and-
not
and-
doing it.
And that's the thing is you have such a good reason to want to get it out there because it's helping people.
Yes, I
You know,
believe
this,
in that.
This
yes.
information in there is truly, truly going to change lives.
Yes.
It's just amazing. I'm sure, like I said, lives have been changed already. And that's
I
right
do
away.
hope
When
so.
you mentioned that, my publisher, I remember her telling me that you've done the easy thing now, writing the book.
Right, that's
Now the tough part is getting the word out there.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're completely different. You know, writing a book and promoting a book. I'd say it's apples to oranges. It's more like apples to, panda bears. Really like Not even close.
Yes.
But when you have a burning desire to get it out for such a fabulous cause, that's amazing. And I know you have all these great engagements lined up, and thankfully you look good, you speak well, it's all good.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Thank you.
So what would you love to, maybe you could share some of the symptoms with our viewers just so they know, because I think there are people that don't even know what they have.
Right. Well, a lot of some of the symptoms are, first of all, a reaction, a rash or some kind of reaction to any kind of clothing or that's near your skin. A lot of times, especially with the electromagnetic, they get like a brain fog. And with my son, at his worst, when he was close to high tension towers.
And we have a lot of those here.
We do, we certainly do. Especially, we had to figure out another route to go just so he wouldn't be near them.
Right.
But especially the LIE is amazing with that. And but he would actually convulse because he said it was like being stabbed in his abdominal area. And
Awful.
yeah,
Awful.
rough to see, and just so we just kept figuring out ways to make it better for him, to ease his pain.
And thankfully, his pain has been eased.
Thank God.
Thank God for that. All right, There's Always Hope, available on Amazon and at bookstores near you. We're going to eat some cake, and we'll be right back.
Wow, I'm so excited.
She talks to the people all night long, chatting and a gabbing and a singing her song. All the divas down on Rainbow Street love to hear Tony go tweet, tweet, tweet. Talking Tony, talking Tony. Oh, talking Tony, really gonna talk tonight.
That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going.
Writing a book is the adventure of a lifetime. Red Penguin Books take pride in giving our authors a publishing experience that is stress-free and celebratory all the way. Some of our authors first approach us with no more than an idea for a book that's ready to sprout. Others submit completed manuscripts. Whether you're at either end or anywhere in between, our goal is to get you published. At Red Penguin Books, we offer options and opportunities that are unique in the world of publishing, and all of them are designed to keep you, the author we so deeply respect, in the driver's seat, unlike other publishing houses. So, if you want to write a book and are looking for a publisher, we've got you covered. Red Penguin Books deal in publishing services, book development, and ghostwriting for digital, print, and audiobook. Call us at 516-448-4993 or visit our website www.redpenguinbooks.com.
to Between the Covers as we sit here stuffing our face with cake. Our next author is quite the varied author. Oh my goodness gracious. I love getting a box of books in the mail that, well, not one, 2, 3, 4, 5 different novels, and he tells me when he got here, I've got a new one coming out soon, too. Oh my God, I was so impressed. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. Well, this is the most recent, correct?
Right.
And so timely, The Separation. Do you mind if I read a little bit of the back here?
Oh, sure,
Just
of course,
to
of
give
course.
in the distant future, there is a separation of the sexes at birth for the good of society. Financial needs, above all else, have led to such drastic measures. The Separation is the story of the life of a male named Finn. The book traces his life at birth and continues past his education, as well as beyond the time when he ultimately learns of the opposite sex. What will result from the revelation of a female society? Finn may wish he never found out. Well, there are lots of young men who don't want to have met girls, but this goes far beyond that. This reminded me so much of Margaret Atwood, who is so wildly popular, and then you mailed me this. I said, ooh, very
I get
cool.
George Orwell, too.
And George Orwell, yes, the world
And,
as we don't want it to exist. Absolutely.
Yeah, and let me say a little bit about the book.
Yes.
Back in college, they actually gave me an assignment, which was A Modest Proposal. Have you heard of
Sure.
Yeah, by Swift?
Absolutely.
So the thing was to write your response to something similar where, you know, the children were fed, they ate the children to avoid the financial burden that they, so that sort of had me write an essay about this topic.
Okay.
I tried to get a hold of the essay that I wrote for the final exam back in college, but the teacher didn't have it anymore after a couple of years. And then
Right.
so many years passed, I said, I had this idea in my head for the longest time. I'm going to put it down and start writing a book about it. And and then I had these ideas for contemporary stories. They always got right in front of it. It was like Stock Boy, One Love, Heartbreaker, To Never Know. And then this one finally time came up, and I said, let me write this book. And it's caused some controversy. I mean, not everybody's going to be, it's not a happy book.
No.
But I think it says some things about society today.
It absolutely does.
And it says things about how they could develop in the future. And it's like you said, last week we talked about you talked about speculative fiction.
Absolutely.
And that's what this book is, speculative science fiction. But there's a little dose of reality in there for good measure, you know, just in case something like this could happen.
There's enough reality in there that you forget and think, ooh, is this true? I mean, same thing when you read any of those, the greats, and you say, oh God, this is really too close to reading nonfiction here. You know, it was right there on the edge.
And I also think there's a twist in the book where, I don't want to sing my own praises, but like, you know, remember that director with The Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan? I think the twist halfway through the book sort of rivals that a little bit when you find out a certain secret.
Yes.
Which is like halfway through.
We won't tell the secret.
No, there's a secret. So when you get halfway through the book, you're like, oh, that's the real.
Right there, but no.
That's the real reason that these laws exist.
Yes.
And the richest people in the country, which I don't go into detail about, which one of the reviewers criticized me for, but some people were happy with the way I did the rulers. The rulers.
Remember something? There'll always be a critic.
There'll always be a critic.
Always.
There'll always be a critic. And thank you for putting yourself out there, even though you knew before you started. There'll always be a critic.
But what makes me happy is that the forward review that I sent you, they said the villainous characters could sympathize with Finn's predicament. And that's what I wanted for the book.
Well, that's what I loved because, you know, the characters in a book have to be multifaceted, and yours absolutely were. You know, if they're just one-sided, who cares? You know, and that really drove home. And some people want one-sided characters, but then again, some people want life to be black and white, don't they? And that's not reality. That really isn't reality. So I appreciated.
What I like about the book is that everybody says I could relate to Finn, even if. You know, some of my books had a lot of unlikable characters. Heartbreaker, they said, well, she was unlikable. One Love, the guy was unlikable.
Right.
But this one, I think you can relate to Finn a little bit because you see yourself, what if? What if I was in a world that I was lied to for the first 20 years of my life? What if I find out this is the reality of it? And
it almost felt like, do you remember the movie The Truman Show?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, and finding out that everything that you're looking at is a complete lie. Amazing. And that moment when the scales fall off your eyes and you say, everything.
That's what like I said. It's not sci-fi like Star Wars. It's
No.
more sci-fi like like Truman Show, like Gattaca,
Right.
like those movies
Yes.
sort of like
Yeah.
parallel, like something 1984.
Exactly.
What I was trying to do with that book.
Exactly.
And the new book coming out. Should I talk about that?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
and you know that you'll have to be back here on the couch.
Thank you.
And because
After the reviews come out, of course, let's see what they
Of course,
say.
but we do
because-
have returning authors. In fact, Joe is back. Linda was on for a series of field guides to Long Island. Talk about from the ridiculous to the
Yeah.
sublime. So when the next book comes out, let
Which
me
should be
know.
in a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow,
First week of
very
October.
exciting.
It's called Social Work. It's about a suicidal young man who meets a social worker, and the book traces their lives as they learn about each other through therapy sessions.
Wow.
And get to know one another. Puts professional barriers, which he can only do so much helping with, but at the same time, his personal life, where he's struggling to stay out of the hospital, going back in for, and
Right.
it's a powerful book. I mean, I have 3 truly moving books. I call them One Love, To Never Know, which is 9/11, of
Right.
course, a story based on, and this one. That's the 3 of them that I call truly moving books that are emotionally involving. And,
You know, I love what you were just saying, and this is something I am always in awe with my fiction writers. I personally don't write fiction. I write nonfiction. I love to read fiction, and one of these days, when I have time, I'm going to work with a fiction coach that I adore and work with constantly, because I want that feeling of writing and having it stream out of you as fiction does, because we nonfiction writers, write what we know. And fiction writers don't always write, they let the story pour. Was that an experience with you, that you were writing kind of into the dark? Like, let's
with
see
Separation?
what happens.
Yeah, with Separation, I sort of I took a lot of risks that I wasn't sure if this is going to work. But when I got the first review from Reader's Favorite, and they told me Separation is the best book I've ever read that demonstrates the similarities, differences, and ultimately the interdependence between between men and women. When I got that review, I was like, okay, I did something right.
You did.
No matter how many other reviews, I touched one person with the book, I made them think.
Yes.
And to make somebody think is
That's
what
huge.
literature should do.
Absolutely.
Fiction, anyway.
And that was the whole point,
yeah.
is to make people think.
What if?
What if? And, sometimes you look at this world and you think, what if is just on the other side of that line? It really is not that far off. Not just in our own country, but, things go on all over this world. We have no idea. So it was kind of frightening.
Yeah, and it sheds some insight into questions we don't want to ask, like I said at the back of the cover, but at the same time, it just makes you think. And that's like 1984 did, or Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
I want to read Testament so
Testament
desperately. I want to
is
get
the
myself
new
to the books.
bestseller that's being snatched off the bookshelves this week, and I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet.
I haven't, but I'm too busy trying to get this book.
But The
It's on my
Handmaid's Tale
list.
was
It's next
just
to mine.
amazing, and which when I read this, same right there, it could just be what if. It's not that far.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It means so much to hear that from
Oh,
people who said,
no,
U.S. Review of
absolutely.
Books had made the first comparison, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just to be in the same sentence as those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
No,
makes
I get
me feel,
that. I
even
get
if
that.
Publishers Weekly is pretty tough. They called it a page turner. In the book life contest that they had, the book life, and that it just to hear people say that, even if the book's not the best book out there, which
Right,
it
right.
isn't, but if it's making you think and it's making you turn
Well, that's
pages,
the thing.
then I'm doing something.
We spoke about how Linda's book or even Joe's book were written to make people feel like part of a community. We're there. We understand you. Here's some tips in some cases. Here's some insights, things we learned. Yours is a different reason. It's to make people think. And I can't imagine anyone reading this book without thinking. You have to. You're just drawn to sort of reconsider things that you accept as reality. And it makes you wonder, what else do we accept as reality?
It's the Truman Show, like you said, at the end of the movie when he's like, you never had a camera in my head, and he's like, you couldn't tell what I was thinking, and he's all, this world that was presented before him, how did he interpret it?
Oh my
This goes
God.
into Finn's opinions, what he thinks it is, and how he questions it as a young man.
Right.
Says, he asks his roommate, heaven and hell, it just doesn't make sense, but he's raising the questions, and the book raises more questions than it does answers.
Does. No, and that's good.
Yeah,
because
that's-
quite frankly, none of us has the answers.
None of us has the answer.
But asking the question is so important, because if we don't ask those questions, who will?
Exactly.
It's always the writers, the artists, the playwrights who get us to ask the questions, and that is such a gift that you've given us.
One of the lines he says in the book, Joe Jr., you always ask the hard questions, Finn, because he's always asking them. He's always like, what's the meaning of life, or whatever in the book,
Right,
you know,
right.
or what does it all mean?
Yeah.
You know, and
Amazing.
we try to figure that out every day. When we get up in the morning, we're going
We
to
do,
work, we're
yeah.
doing this, you know, we're doing, like, you fight for your son.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do the best we can to try to figure out what it all means and to love and Finn loves in the book. He
Yes.
loves his wife, he loves his son.
Yes.
He sacrifices everything for his son. And, you know, and
Yeah.
sort of I can relate it to her because she sacrificed
Absolutely.
everything for her son.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, amazing. I can't thank you enough for writing
Thank you
writing
so
this.
much.
This is just an amazing book. It's done. It's on paper. You're feeling good, like a little relief.
and then maybe there'll be a sequel. So
There you
the libraries have gotten a hold of it on OneDrive, so it's been getting out there to some libraries, and you know, if it gets out a little more, maybe in a couple. I mean, I have a book after this one. I'm going to write about heaven.
Right, right.
Because
Well,
that's
because
another
you can't,
topic I
you
want to
just
talk
are
about.
all over the place with your
Yeah.
topics, and I love that. Talk about somebody who has so much pouring out of you that you've got to hit every single topic.
Then after the heaven book, I might do a sequel to Stockboy, then Separation. I don't know.
All right.
I'm working one step at a time.
I love it.
And
Now,
probably the best thing that'll happen with your new release, you'll get a new cake.
I love cake, as you see. I've already eaten half of it on the
this
break.
is only for book launch parties. If he wants to launch
I'll
the book
launch a
here,
book
we
with
could,
you,
We
yeah.
could talk
We'll
about
get one.
that. If he
We'll
wants
get
to
one.
launch the book
Cool.
here, I got champagne, I got cake. I mean, who does it better?
And I couldn't be happier.
And now we know he
Nobody
likes the
does
cake.
it.
Now I know he likes the cake. Well, you know what I would like is an autographed copy.
Absolutely.
So if you don't mind autographing my copy, because I want to have it just in case. Okay. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back to find out where you can find our authors. And we'll have a couple of minutes.
The sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. But when we're floating up like helium,
Do you have a book, either in your head or on your desk, just waiting to get out to anxious readers? Hi, I'm Stephanie Larkin, author, book developer, and head penguin at Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company specializing in books of all genres and publishing in all formats, including digital, audible, and print books. From business books to romance, memoirs to mysteries, our authors have complete control over their books from start to print. We'll help get your book to booksellers all around. Major booksellers such as Amazon, Apple, Kobo, Walmart, even libraries and bookstores around the world. We believe in our authors. So call or email today to get your free publisher's packet to get started. Just visit us at redpenguinbooks.com and get your book out there and into the hands of your readers. At Red Penguin Books, you call all the shots. So call us today and turn your dreams into a reality. Welcome back to Between the Covers. You see, you should have come to the studio tonight. You'd have cake.
And champagne.
And champagne. Don't count on that every week. Just a couple of reminders about our guests here. Joe Satriano is featuring this fabulous concert. You can't forget, he's been sitting there in that costume all night long on the couch, so you can't forget about this concert. The concert is October 26th. It's amazing. It looks like he's one of the performers. He's not.
No, we want people to show up.
We certainly want people to show up. What's our target goal? Do we have a goal for this?
Well, yeah, I'm hoping for a sellout, first of all. And
Sellout,
that
yes.
That would translate to about $20,000 worth of scholarship money for kids. Because,
20,000.
yeah,
Wow, and you've given $1 million already.
yeah.
That
Well,
is just so beautiful.
it's all good, Stephanie.
Absolutely.
All good.
So good. So make sure October 26th. I'm virtually certain that if you can't make it to the concert, the foundation will take donations.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So October 26th, that's going on, and make sure you're there. Thomas, where can we find your books?
On Facebook, I'll have the cover of Social Work up tomorrow on Facebook, so you can see the cover.
Ooh.
And then the book will come out in October, which you can get on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com.
Okay, and the separation and all of your other books, just go to Amazon and type in Thomas Duffy, and bing, you'll get
a list.
everything. And of course, at BetweenTheCoversTV.com, I'll have all those links too. And Linda, where can we find you?
Well, my book is on Amazon.
It
That's
is.
the best place to
In fact,
to
I think on your
find it.
slide I put that you were the #1 bestseller in your category when you were released. Yes! Loved that.
Yeah,
Loved
in
that.
2 categories.
2 categories.
But
Look
they
at you
didn't- they
rocking
only-
it.
I know. I listened to what everybody said, and all day I'm watching it, and when it hit #1, you take a picture.
You took a picture.
Yeah, that's what
Screenshot
they kept
quickly.
telling me.
I love that. Absolutely.
But I do want to take a moment just to thank my book coach, Stephanie.
Aw, my
Because I
pleasure.
couldn't have done it without her. I'd write every day, and she would tell me, what is this? More.
I'm the nag. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm the nag.
More or even less.
Did I ever say less?
No.
Well, less is more.
I always said, Linda, give me more.
Yeah, give me more. What does this mean? So I could, but it was a great experience that way to
Well, thank you.
work that.
I'd say my pleasure, but my privilege. Such an important.
And this is for you as a thank you. I just,
It's red.
it, no kidding.
It's red.
Would it be any other
Okay.
color? But I just, I wanted to thank you.
Oh, you're too sweet.
I'm not,
too
but
sweet.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
I love this. It's
Yes.
There's always hope. The
There's
Banksy
always-
picture.
yeah.
Oh my God, this is getting hung in my office.
That's what I was hoping.
My
because-
very own Banksy.
Yes.
Is this the one that they shredded when it was auctioned?
Yes.
I think it's the one that was shredded. There we go.
Do you remember that story?
I
Oh
remember
my
that
God,
story.
that was-
No
yeah.
one can shred mine. Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Totally in my office, and there's
Yes.
always hope.
And thank you so much.
Oh God, are you kidding? My pleasure.
You made it so possible. It was wonderful.
You kept writing when I nagged. If you're an author and you would like to be featured on Between the Covers, just visit us at BetweenTheCoversTV.com and click on Be Our Guest. We have some available slots coming up, so please make sure to go there. And if you're a reader, come on by. You might get lucky and get here for cake and champagne. But certainly keep on reading, and thanks for joining us. Oh.
Thank you.